The behavior of black men in this community as of late is downright disgusting, embarrassing, and absolutely pathetic. I'm not gonna bash my brothers, not all of them, because if you don't say not all, they'll all get offended. But sometimes, even if you say not all, they still get angry. Some of them threatened to kill me when I was on my other channel. But a black man has to call other black men out on their bullshit and let them know when they're wrong. And it may fall on deaf ears, but here's another try at it, another crack at it. When I was a kid in the 80s, 90s, black men stood for something. They stood for, you don't fuck with me, okay? If somebody was fucking with a black woman, whether it be another black man, whether it be a white man, any other fucking man was fucking with their woman. When that black man comes on that scene, this motherfucker will back down, or he'll be fighting and getting his ass knocked the fuck out. That's all there is. Simple as that. We still got some black men out there that will defend their woman, that will defend their mom and grandma and their family, period. Their sons and daughters, everybody. Okay? Their wife. But the behavior that we're seeing displayed lately, for quite a while now, is absolutely embarrassing. I didn't grow up in a time where I seen black men disrespecting black women on this level. And I damn sure didn't grow up in a time where I seen black women giving white boys a chance. If they did, even though I know it happened, it didn't happen as often as it's happening now. If your women are acting up and they're starting to date out with the oppressor, they're doing it because you are dating the oppressor's mother. A lot of these women are not going to tell you this, okay? But a lot of these women are acting out because they're trying to get you to pay attention to what the fuck is happening. There was a person on my comment section, a loyal viewer I can call her. And I don't want to say her name. I don't know if she wants me to say her name, so I'm not going to shout her out like that. But there was somebody that commented the other day, and they made a lot of sense. A man doesn't pay attention to his wife. His wife tells him things and he just ignores it. She says that she's going to leave. He doesn't believe that she's going to leave. And then when she finally has her bags packed, all of a sudden he takes action and wants to do something. Well, what she said makes perfect sense because I see it ring true now. There are certain black men that are taking action now, trying to tell these black women that they love them and, trying to take action, just take action, period. Because they see that there is a change that is happening, a change in the climate in the black community. And it's not a good one. No, it's not. It's like I told you before. Not many people are giving a shit what's happening with the children. I understand they have to think about what's going on with themselves as well, but they should be thinking about what's happening to the children. Because the children are looking at you as their examples. And if you are dating as a black man, dating out with white women or other women, and then degrading your black woman, and especially if you have a black daughter, how do you think that's going to make that black daughter feel? That she's ugly, that she's not going to be accepted by other black men? If you are her father, you are her first role model as the black man. You are the first black man that she sees, and she develops a sense of who the black man is by getting it from you. If you are not leading her by the perfect example of a black man and showing her that the black man loves his woman and loves his family, and you are showing her negative stereotypes and showing her negative behavior, what in the hell do you think that's going to do to her later on in life? How that's going to affect her? Even if you have a son and you're a black man and you're showing your son that it's okay, put your hands on your woman, to treat your woman like trash and talk to her in the most negative, disgusting ways and embarrass her and tell her that, she can't hold a candle to a white woman or an Asian or anybody else who's not black. I mean, you don't think that that's going to instill some sort of image or some sort of belief in his mind as a child, that he grows up and thinks that, okay, well, daddy did this, so mommy was wrong probably. And he hears all the hatred and all the lies that you're telling about his mother, and then he starts to develop a hatred for black women. And that cycle continues when he becomes older and has his own children, who will preferably be biracial. I don't think these men think enough. You see, the men think, but they think with their penis. And it's a curse to have a penis. It is. I'm sorry, women, I have to go raw. But it's a curse to have a penis, because this is why a lot of men cheat. Because we get into the mood. And seriously, I don't know how I've never done it, But it's probably because I was raised by my mom and I've seen what she went through. So I don't want to do that to my wife. And I tell myself every day that I'm thankful to have my wife, so I don't do that to her. But a lot of men cannot resist that urge when their penis is getting hard and they're getting into the mood. They have to go and do it. A lot of these relationships that these black men get into with white women, the ones who date outside their race, these black men, they're not doing it simply because they're telling you that white women are better than black women. They're doing it because they're doing it for sexual gratification. When you're a black man and you have options of other women wanting you, suddenly you feel like you're the fucking bomb, like you're the man, you're the shit. I ain't gotta just fuck with my women. If my women want to act up, in their mind, if you're acting up, you're shouting at them, you're getting loud and shit, they don't want to take your shit, so they're gonna go where they believe that they're wanted, which they're not. They're only wanted for sexual favors. You know, to me, as far as I'm concerned, if you're a black man and you're going with a white woman and any other non-black woman that just wants to fuck you because she wants to get the best in the world, you're a gigolo. You're like a fucking male prostitute. That's really what you are. They don't value you as a human being. They only value you as somebody that you jump into bed with. This is why people hate me, ladies and gentlemen, because I may still be young, but I speak the fucking truth, and I don't have to be in the situation to understand that. If you use common sense, like I have told you people many times, common sense tells you this is the reality of the situation. This is why most black men out there in the 60s, when civil rights was going on and we were able to marry people of different races since that time, that's why a lot of these black men jumped ship, because they wanted to see what it was like to fuck a white woman. They wanted to see what it was like to make love with her, to kiss her, because they've seen her in all these movies being rescued by white men, and they probably wanted to be the white man in his role and rescue her, you know, for themselves and have her in their bed, and they finally got that chance. Black women tend to not have that inkling for white men that black men have for white women. They don't. There are some out there who are attracted to these white men because of their upbringing. They may be around nothing but white men in the area they were born. Their parents may have been fortunate enough to come into money, and they are around more white people, have more white friends, and those are the ones who date these white men. Now you see some of these sisters from the hood doing it too, but it's not the same. The majority of black women, and I'm not speaking for them, but I am in the same time, they don't want white men. They don't. They want you. You ignorant, fucking hard-headed motherfuckers. But you keep acting like assholes. And how long can someone continue to hold on to a belief that maybe you're going to change if you're continuously getting worse? It's like someone being with an alcoholic or being with an abuser and saying, oh, they'll eventually change. And the abuse just continues. And they got to get out eventually before they die. You keep drinking, they got to get out before you kill yourself or kill them, okay? That's how it's looking right now when it comes to certain black men. And it's not fair to do that to every single black man, but what a lot of these women are seeing, that's what they're seeing. They see you going with the oppressor's wife, with the oppressor's mother, with the mother of the oppressor. And if you are putting these white women on a pedestal over black women, you don't think that black women will be vindictive enough to go back and sleep with white men to get back at you? Some of them will tell you that they're not getting back at you by sleeping with white men, but the majority, a lot of black women, trust me, and I know they're going to get mad at me for saying this, but it's true. It's fucking true. We have to face it. A lot of these black women do not love these white men that they're with. They're just doing it because they want to be married like everybody else. If I was a black woman, I'm not marrying no white man. I don't care if I have to wait 4,000 years. I'm not marrying a white man because I don't want to have sex with him. I don't want to have biracial children. No offense against biracials, because I have friends who are biracials. But me, I want a black child. I don't want a child that's part of his world, you know, or part of her world, okay? Depending on if you're a man or a woman. That's just how I feel. I want to have a black child that looks like me. I don't want to have a child that looks like half me, half them. No, because it has their blood, and I don't want their blood in my child. Bad enough that a lot of us already have their blood in us because of what happened with slavery and our bloodline, our lineage. But like I've told many of you people before, there is nobody in my family that is married to someone that's white. Not because we're racist, but because we believe in black love. That's all there is to it. The only person that's ever been married to a white person was my grandma, who was married to my grandfather, who died before I was born. That's it. That's it. So I'm going to tell you like this. Black men, getting back on my point, There was never no black man. I digressed the fuck out of that, but I made points, so it didn't really matter. But this is what I'm trying to tell you. Never seen black men dressing up in clothing like, you know, like what females wear. I never seen black men dressing up in dresses at all. If they did that, they were labeled, I'm not going to say the word because we can't say anything against gay people, and I'm not a bigot against gay people at all. But they were labeled a homo. Excuse me for saying that, okay? That's what they were labeled. That's what just you were called if you were a black man that dressed like that. That would be the only reason that you'd be dressing like that. We got black men that are wearing colors that black men shouldn't be wearing. Pink, and I mean, we got black men just acting a fool. They're not looking like they're material that anybody wants to be with. There are men out there of integrity. There are men out there of intelligence, and there are men out there who do what they do, and they do it well, as far as providing and getting their jobs and working hard and just being a man of the community. There are black men out there, but we keep seeing the ones in the forefront are the ones who act a fool. They like hitting women. They like drinking 40s and shit like that. They like to emulate these rappers who don't do a goddamn thing for their community but just make money off the misery of making fun of black people, and, you know, black women especially. I'm gonna tell you like this: if you are a black man and you know your history as a slave, your ancestors, don't tell me it's not your history, because it is. This is one thing that black men need to stop doing, especially black men. I'm not talking about black women right now. I'm talking about black men. They need to stop saying, oh, well, I wasn't back then. It wasn't me back then in slavery. Motherfucker, it's your goddamn history. It's part of your history. We've done other things besides being slaves, but do not forget that your ancestors, I should say, were slaves. You should remember that. Remember what they did to black men. They degraded them in front of their families. They raped their wives and daughters. And these black men who did try to stop it were murdered. And then there were black men who didn't want to lose their lives. And their wives and daughters said, it's okay, Dad. It's okay. My husband, I'll do it. Can you imagine being a black man and another man, especially a white man, takes your wife by the hand, and he is having his way with her in his house, and all you could do is think about what the fuck she's going through, and you're angry as fuck and you can't do nothing about it? And especially if a black man who was a father in that time has his black daughter, who may be a teenager or maybe even younger than that, taken by the hand of the slave owner and is raped by that slave owner. You hear her screams, her cries for help, and you can't do a goddamn thing. And if you've done something about it, you tried, your ass is dead. How the fuck, years later, we see these people as our brothers? We see these women as options, when black women and black men, to this day, that means it never ended. Not even in the civil rights era. Not even in the time they say, well, racism is over. To this day, black men especially are being targeted by police, being murdered by police. And to this day, listen to me carefully, black women continuously being raped and disrespected. I almost feel like crying. I don't understand how a black man, listen to me when I say this, because I'm leaving you with this, and to me this is powerful. I don't understand how, as a black man, you can disrespect your women. And they've already been disrespected and degraded by the white man, and they still are today. And I don't want to hear nothing about they're going with white men. I don't want to hear nothing about their agents of white supremacy. How, as a black man, do you disrespect your own women? You are doing what the white man has taught you. You are calling them the worst names in the world that white men have called you and them combined. You are treating them like they are not human. You are treating them like they are pieces of dirt. You think it's funny when they get manhandled by police. You think it's funny when white men treat them like shit. You high five these white men. This hurts me, because I wasn't raised this way, and I love black women. I know they're not perfect. I know black men are not perfect. But this hurts me. It does. And I'm not afraid to tell you that I got tears coming out my eyes right now, because this is what I teach against. Black men should not be acting like this, man. This behavior is not normal. It's not, just like interracial dating with white people is not normal. It's not. I would never treat my mom like that. I would never have anybody treat my mother like that. Because if they did, I would have to kill them. And I would never treat my wife like that. I would never treat my daughters like that. I would never have anybody treat my daughter like that if I have a daughter. God willing. So the fact that a black man can do this to his own women, and you want to know why they date outside, that's the reason. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, and you need to clean up your act, because it's pathetic. I'm done.